Thank you.
You're welcome.
Deb, it worked.
It did. See, never delete an email. Pat, I see the live on YouTube link thing. Does that mean that we're recording and streaming?
It means we are broadcasting live to YouTube. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right. Look for them.
Okay, so can you all hear me and see me okay?
Yes.
Excellent. Streaming live, yes?
Yes, live to YouTube.
Live to YouTube. I think we have everybody here. I will start with the notice and get us off here. Pursuant to Section 5, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, this state for the record that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by posting and maintaining the annual notice of regular meetings on the bulletin board of the municipal building, by mailing the annual notice of regular meetings for 2023 to the News Record and Star Ledger in December 2022, and by filing said notice in the office of the Township Clerk.
Miss Adams. Miss Craig.
Here.
Mr. DeLuca.
Here.
Sengel.
Here.
Mayor Davis.
Here.
Whereas Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, commonly known as the Open Public Meetings Act, requires all meetings of public bodies be open to the public. And whereas Section 7A provides that the governing body has the discretion to permit, prohibit, or regulate the active participation of the public at any meeting, and desire the governing body to comply with the provisions of this act, same time to conduct its business, its business in an orderly and expeditious manner. Now therefore be resolved by the Township Committee, Township of Maplewood does hereby prohibit, except as set forth in the formal agenda active participation in deliberations of the governing body by the public, and except as otherwise described by law, does limit the public to the observations of the actions and discussions of the governing body at all of its regular and special meetings.
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Adams, Ms. Bright,
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca,
Yes.
Ms. Engel,
Yes.
Mayor Daffis.
Yes. Please join a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the
The
flag
flag of the United States of America,
and to the
to the
republic
Republic,
which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
justice for all.
Thank you. Good evening, folks. Welcome to our June 20th meeting. As you can see, we are still in virtual format. I understand that we will have full hybrid capacity very, very soon, actually. So we may be able to convert over to hybrid and allow people to see us in person if they so wish. So this evening, we will start our meeting with an important proclamation in honor of Juneteenth, which was yesterday. And we certainly hope that the state of New Jersey will please get in sync with the federal government now that it is a federal holiday, so that we are not in the confusing and frustrating position that we currently are. And I don't need to say more about that. Then we will segue into boards and committees. We have 2 appointments tonight. We're very excited. 1 appointment to the Arts Council and 1 to the Pool Advisory Council Committee, rather. Public comment portion, agenda items only. 1 ordinance on final passage, no introduction of ordinances. We have no report from departments tonight. Administrative reports will follow the usual order. We'll start with Township Administrator Wary. We will then hear from Township Attorney Christine Turritelli, who is stepping in tonight for Mr. Desiderio. And we will end administrative reports with Township Clerk Fritzen. Elected official report order tonight. Committee member Adams is not with us due to a personal obligation. She is well and sends her regards. Committee member Kripe, committee member DeLuca, Deputy Mayor Engel, and I always go last. We do not have discussion items. Our consent agenda has been fully published, as the rest of the agenda has, along with all of the documents, all of the links to the documents. I do want to point out a couple of resolutions. Most notably, resolution number 187-23 regarding determining the form and other details of the $32+ million bond series, and the accompanying resolutions for that, which are wish we had these things in order, but that doesn't always happen, does it? Resolution number 212-23, resolution number 213-23. So what are we doing here? Essentially, we are combining into a new packet a bunch of existing bonds. These cover our capital projects from 2022 and 2023. And what we're doing is we're converting 32 million in notes to a permanent bond because of current advantageous market conditions. So that's what's going on here, and you'll be pleased to know, if you've already looked at the agenda and the accompanying links, that the 32 million includes our library construction at $12 million. Very excited to see that officially here in this package of notes. All right. We are making a couple of promotions tonight. And we are also, what else did I want to highlight in particular? Buying a couple of public works vehicles that are necessary, and so on and so forth, including the purchase of fireworks for our July 4th celebration. And you'll hear more about that from Deputy Mayor Engel during her report. All right, so let's get started. Before our proclamation, which Committee Member Kripe will lead us into, we do have a couple of noteworthy moments of silence. Please join me in this in honor of the passing of Maplewood firefighter Charlie Ballaston, who served as a Maplewood firefighter from 1955 to 1986. And also, in light of the passing of retired Maplewood firefighter Frederick Fatzler. His family has released the following details in terms of arrangements. There will be a viewing on Friday this week, one day only, from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at Higgins Home for Funerals. That's at 752 Mountain Boulevard in Watchung, New Jersey. Interment will be at Somerset Hills Memorial Park in Basking Ring, New Jersey, immediately following the viewing. At this moment, please join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. Committee Member Kripe.
Thank you, Mayor Daffis. On June 19th, 1865, nearly 9 decades after our nation's founding, and more than 2 years after President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, where enslaved Americans in Galveston, Texas, finally received word that they were free from bondage. As those who were formerly enslaved were recognized for the first time as citizens, Black Americans came to commemorate Juneteenth with celebrations across the country, building new lives and a new tradition that we honor still today. In its celebration of freedom, Juneteenth is a day that we should recognize. It should be recognized by all of us. Juneteenth is a day of profound weight and power, a day in which we remember the moral stain and terrible toil of slavery in our country, what's long been called America's original sin. A long legacy of systemic racism, inequality, and inhumanity. But it is a day that also reminds us of our incredible capacity to heal, to hope, and to emerge from our darkest moments with purpose and resolve. On Juneteenth, we commit ourselves to the work of equity, equality, and justice. And we celebrate the centuries of struggle, courage, and hope that have brought us to this time, progress, and possibility. That work has been led through our history by abolitionists and educators, civil rights advocates and lawyers, courageous activists, trade unionists, public officials, and everyday Americans who helped make real the ideals of our founding documents for all. To fulfill the promise of an America where all are created equal, that we are endowed unalienable rights, of which include life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is upon all of us to fulfill this promise, as the job of creating a better America and a better Maplewood is a shared responsibility. Now, therefore, be it resolved on behalf of Mayor Dean Daffis and the members of the Township Committee of Maplewood, we proclaim June 19th, Juneteenth Day in the Township of Maplewood, and urge not only us to join in festivals and celebrations, but to seek beyond the revelries and make sure Juneteenth doesn't become just another holiday, but a day of reverence. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Committee Member Kripe. That was beautifully stated. And, it was sad that our two-town Juneteenth celebration this year needed to be canceled because of the unpredictable weather and calls for thunder showers on Friday night. And we did have some of that. So the event did not occur, but I had the honor last night in light of Juneteenth to celebrate one of our very own Black celebrity chef and author, Chef Jesse, who cooked up a storm of his traditional cooking and home cooked, favorites over at Kitchen Table on Springfield Avenue. And it was a wonderful celebration of him and his heritage, and it was lovely to do it on Juneteenth. We celebrate all of our Black-owned businesses in town, and we encourage all of our residents to do the same. And please check out Kitchen Table. It's a fantastic venue for your own private parties and for you to pick up a new recipe. They have excellent cooking classes of all kinds. And all of that information is available on their website. So thank you for that. Okay, now we're moving over to boards and committees, and we have two very exciting appointments that we're all excited about. And I believe, I know I've seen Jennifer Malone and Emily Konopinski in the attendee list. If we can bring over Jennifer Malone. Oh, there she is. Hi there, Jen. Thank you for joining us. We're excited to this evening officially appoint you onto the Arts Council. You are a visual artist, and that is something that we really need in terms of greater diversity in our artistic representation on the Arts Council. So we're going to open the floor to you to introduce yourself to the community here tonight and talk a little bit of your interest. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. I've lived in Maplewood for almost 9 years. It has been the best place I've ever lived. I grew up in Brooklyn, so it's a natural match. I started painting when my daughter, who is now a senior in high school, was 5 years old. And it created a completely new life for me. I have embraced it, and I've also participated in a number of local events. I'm chairing the Soma Studio Tour for the second year. I participated in the Art Walk for 7 years, and I've done a lot at 1978, and I've coordinated between both towns. So I'm very, very happy to be here and be on the council. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jen. We're very happy that you're giving more of yourself in this new manner and excited to have you join the Arts Council. With that, I move the appointment of Jen Malone onto the Maplewood Arts Council.
Second.
Ms. Curry,
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca,
Yes.
Engel,
Yes.
Mayor Daffis.
Absolutely, yes. Congratulations, Jen.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
We are too, and you're getting in here just in time. I think we have a meeting scheduled next week, so we'll send you all that information, all right?
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a
You're
wonderful
welcome.
night.
You too. Okay, and next we have another exciting appointment onto our boards and committees, Emily Konopinski, who will be talking about her appointment onto the Pool Advisory Committee, and I'm going to let Deputy Mayor Engel do that.
Thanks, Mayor. Yes, I'm very excited that Emily Konopinski applied for the Pool Advisory Committee, and I will open it up to you, Emily, to say a few words to everybody about your volunteer experience here and also what you want to do in your new position.
Okay, mute is off. Video is on. Okay,
There you go.
so I'm Emily. Hi. Thank you for the opportunity. I have been volunteering in Maplewood since I was a child. And then when I came home from the Air Force, I joined the Lions Club and was able to meet so many of the people who have been really doing a lot of the volunteerism and work in town. So I have a long history of being involved either adjacently or directly. As far as the pool is concerned, I've been going to the pool every year since I was a child, with the exception of the few years I've been away from the area. And I love it. I think it's an amazing resource. It's an amazing, it's everything. And I've been there almost every day that it's open this season, even though it's been cold some days. So I love what the existing team has been doing as far as bringing us closer to an equitable, more representative pool for our town and for our communities. And in fact, I met a family on Father's Day who purchased the full membership, and they live in Summit. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, we're attracting Summit residents to come to our pool. So I want to make sure that those people that are coming here because they couldn't as they explained it, afford to buy in Maplewood, we're able to still participate in the community, which I thought was kind of cool. But there are some key things, like my background in the military was in some like safety and engineering, and just like I'm always looking at risk. It's sort of a curse and a blessing, but I would like to see some of those things like really kept like up to speed with the rest of the town. And because it's a facility that's only used like seasonally, that can sometimes become a harder task. So I'd like to help with that. And then also, unfortunately, my family, not in my immediate family, but my immediate like first round family, suffered the loss of a small child due to a drowning accident. And so water safety is a very near and dear thing to my heart as an educator, but also as a parent. And just, it's like the more opportunity we can bring through our facility to educate and promote safety and healthy life through swimming and water access, I am all for it. So I'd like to, those are kind of the two fronts that I'd like to be as most helpful as I can, and then fill in wherever else there's need. So I'm very excited.
Thank you.
Thanks.
On that note, I move the appointment of Emily Konopinski to the Pool Advisory.
I second it.
Ms. Gray,
Yes, and welcome you.
DeLuca,
Yes.
Sengel,
Yes.
Mayor Daffis.
Yes, welcome, Emily. Thank you for
Thank you,
continuing to
Emily.
volunteer. Okay, Jen and Emily, you're
Thanks.
welcome to stay on for the rest of the meeting or carry on with your evening. Up to you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
I'm hanging out to see as much as I can, but do you want to take me off of the panel and I'll enter in again as just a member?
Sure, we got you.
Okay.
I'll do the same, please.
Sure, Jen, we got you too. Okay, so they're being converted back over as attendees, right? Or it's happening. Okay. Actually, I still see Jen with us as panelist. Okay, there we go. All right, this brings us to our first public comment period for agenda items only, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Waltz.
Good evening, Mayor and Township Committee. We will now begin our first public comment portion of the meeting on agenda items only. If any meeting attendee would like to address the Township Committee, please use the raise your hand function. We will convert you over to a panelist and allow you 3 minutes to speak. Would anybody like to address the Township Committee at this time? I see no one, Mayor.
Let's give it a couple minutes just to make sure, Mr. Waltz. Okay, I see no one as well. With that, we will close the public comment period for agenda items only. There will be a second public comment period for non-agenda items at the end of the meeting, towards the end of the meeting, rather. Ordinances on final passage. We have one tonight, ordinance number 3097-23.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance, final passage 3097-23 is an ordinance authorizing an emergency appropriation for the payment of accumulated leave liability to Maplewood Fire Department firefighters pursuant to NJSA 40A4-53. This ordinance authorizes emergency appropriation for the payment of accumulated leave liability to Maplewood Fire Department firefighters.
This ordinance has been published, copies posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and copies made available to the general public in accordance with the law. This is an ordinance on final passage. Accordingly, it triggers a public hearing. I'm going to open that public hearing now, which means that members of the public are welcome to comment or ask any questions about this ordinance. Mr. Waltz, do we have any members of the public wishing to do so?
I see no one, Mayor.
I see no one as well. We will close the public hearing. Is there any discussion among TC members about this? Committee member DeLuca, did you want to say anything about this?
Mayor, let me just explain what this is. because we are moving from our firefighters off of the Maplewood payroll onto the South Essex Fire Department, we have to close out our payroll for the firefighters. And that means any accumulated monies due to them has to be paid out by the end of this month, June. So this is allowing us to do that. We will clear the books now, and everyone that has time coming to them will be paid. And as we start this new process with SEFD. So that's what this is.
Thank you for the additional color there. Any other discussion or remarks from Township Committee members? Okay, seeing none. Committee Member DeLuca, would you move it?
I move this ordinance be adopted as a whole and the clerk be directed to publish the same as a passed ordinance in the Maplewood South Orange News Record according to law.
I'll second it.
Ms. Cripe,
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca,
Yes.
Ms. Engel,
Yes.
Mayor Daffis.
Yes, thank you. Moving on to item 11, administrative reports. Mr. Wary.
Thank you, Mayor Daffis. Just one item tonight, late in the afternoon today, the DOT got back to us with a request for edits to a resolution that the committee will be voting on tonight. Is for the 2024 municipal aid grant application. So I'd ask that I could read into the record either now or when you're ready to vote, the two whereas clauses that the DOT requested we add. And that's my only report for tonight.
I'm okay if you read it now, Mr. Wary.
Absolutely. It'll be the approval to submit a 2024 municipal aid grant application and execute a grant contract with the New Jersey Department of Transportation to resurface Springfield Avenue from Rutgers Street to Milburn Avenue. The two whereas clauses are, it doesn't change any of the content of the resolution, but to clarify the areas of the two phases. So whereas phase one encompasses reconstruction of Springfield Avenue from Jacoby Street to Rutgers Street, and phase two encompasses the Springfield Avenue reconstruction from Rutgers Street to Milburn Avenue. And whereas the NJDOT has authorized Maplewood to apply for 2024 municipal aid funding to phase the original project by modifying its scope of work in the 2023 application to reflect phase one, and have the 2024 application consist of the project boundaries in phase two. The rest of the resolution and the intent of the resolution remain the same.
Which resolution number is that?
That is in the packet. It's resolution 190-23. On the agenda, you will see it noted as resolution 190-22. But the title is for the approval of the municipal aid grant application with the NJDOT.
Okay. Attorney Territorially, your guidance here, can we vote on this separately, that resolution separately now with the amended language?
That makes sense, Mayor. It's in your discretion, of course. But yes,
I will move the adoption of resolution number 190-22 as amended by Township Administrator Wary.
Second.
Ms. Cripe,
Yes.
Mr. DeLuca,
Yes.
Ms. Engel,
Yes.
Mayor Daffis.
Yes, thank you. Any additional reports, Mr. Wary?
That's my only report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Wary from the Township Committee? All right. Wait, Mr. Wary, you are on it. You have caught so quickly, and you are just become part of the family here at the Township, and we hope that you are enjoying yourself as much as we're enjoying having you.
Yeah, I was going to ask him if he's still having fun.
More every day. I
All
promise.
right, good. That's a good answer.
And for those of you wondering what the heck we're talking about, Mr. Wary is our new Township Administrator. He joined us, when was it? Just back in May, right? Early May.
May 1st. That's right.
That's right. It seems like longer than that. I'm sure it does for you as well.
Yeah, like May 1st of last year. Yeah.
Right. There's a lot going on. Wonderful. So thank you again, Mr. Wary, for your report. We'll move over to legal. And again, as I mentioned at the top of the meeting tonight, Mr. Desiderio is attending a family function. And we have in his stead, his colleague, Christine Turatelli. Christine, do you have any updates for us tonight?
Thank you, Mayor. No, we have no report.
Thank you. Any questions for Christine Turatelli from the Township Committee? All right, seeing none. Thank you again, Christine, for being with us.
My pleasure.
Township Clerk Fritzen, you're up.
Thanks, Mayor. Just a few things. I wanted to just point out that you have 3 ABC renewal resolutions on the consent agenda. And they are renewals for our ABC licensees for 2023-2024. And I will state for the record that all of the checks by the various township departments that we do every year for compliance before we even consider renewal have all come back fine. Maintenance, outdoor maintenance of the establishment, police, court, finance for any liens or anything that we have on any properties. So I bring that to your attention that they are all good to go. I would say that we have one licensee who is working on tax clearance, and that is Maplewood Spirits. They're well aware of the situation that we could not put them on the plenary retail consumption renewals tonight, but they certainly have time to get their tax clearance. The other 2 are both pocket licenses that are previously liquor stores. And we're working directly with them for their renewal, but it's not as critical for them, obviously. They're not operating. So the other thing is I would report, I would be making a huge election day report, but I know that that my staff was excellent, carried out a primary election in my absence, my unexpected absence. And I can't say enough about Amari and Ed and the additional staff that we have at night for results. So it just goes to show that, we're ready, able, and to pull these things off. Township committee meeting the next night, same thing. Maury and Ed did a super job. And I had a family emergency. You guys know that. And I thank you for all of your support. I really do. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Thank you all so much. You mean the world to me.
And you mean the world to us. I really want you to know that in case you don't know it already. And thank you for your report, Township Clerk Fritzen, and we're glad that you were able to attend to your family in that moment of need. And you have trained your staff really well. They did step in and, they led with no issues. We did have a seamless election, as you stated. Thank you. Are there any questions for Township Clerk Fritzen? Okay, no questions, but they all share the accolades toward you. All the love. All right, lots of love. All right, we'll move over to reports from elected officials. As I stated at the top of the meeting, Committee Member Adams is also attending to a family affair this evening, a personal obligation rather, could not be with us. So we'll start with Committee Member Crichton.
Thank you, Mayor. I was nervous for a second when Liz started giving those accolades, like she was about to throw down a resigner statement.
No.
I was like, okay, Liz, okay, you can't go anywhere yet. But we are very, very happy that you're back with us. And yes, kudos to Ed. My report is fairly short. This month, we haven't had a whole lot of meetings because of graduations and end of school things. So lots of meetings had to get shuffled towards the end of the month. So my July report will be more wholesome. But I did want to put out kudos to number one, the Durand Headman Horse. Behind me, you'll see that the Juneteenth flag is on display in my background. But on Sunday, June 18th, Durand Headman had their annual Juneteenth program where they had speakers and musicians, face painters. storytellers, actors. It was well done. And I want to extend a huge congratulations and a big sense of gratitude to Jail Safety and her staff, as well as the members of the Community Coalition on Race here in Soma. Audrey Rowe and her team did a brilliant job of supporting the Duran head of the house and providing lots of information for us to share and learn. And as you stated in your statement in the beginning there, it has been 160 years as of this year since the Emancipation Proclamation was written, and we're still seeing injustices. So as I stated in my welcoming words to the people who are gathered, that we need to look at that number and be more urgent in our actions into making our world more diverse and equitable for all. I think if we've moved slow enough, it's time to make some action. Serious legislative change. The police department has been getting it done. Our public safety committee meeting last week, there were some announcements made by Chief Sally, and I just wanted to make sure that our community knows that we have a huge shift in car theft, have gone down by 40% in town. And as far as our cases that are open, the Detective Bureau has been knocking it out of the park. I believe right now we're sitting currently at 3 open cases, down from 40 at the beginning of the month. So they have been getting things done. I know that sometimes policing tends to be looked at in a negative way, but our community police really been working their hardest to make sure that they provide excellent service for us and are helping our victims of crimes get the support and help that they need. Please note that the CERT team has graduated 6 people, so we will have 6 new community volunteers be able to help us at different community events as well as any emergency things that come up. However, there won't be another in-person training probably for 2023, but the training is available online if anyone is interested in getting certified as a community response team member. So please sign up and get on it for that. Other than that, Mayor, that is all my report.
That is a lot of goodness right there, Committee Member Cripe. Thank you. And I appreciate that you took the time to commend our police department, who works tirelessly. And as you said, they are attending to victims of crimes and they're solving those crimes. And we're really, really very proud of them. We tend to focus on issues when they happen, but we also want to take the time to salute them for their excellent service to the community. So thank you for doing that. Are there
Mr.
any?
Mayor, I almost forgot one thing. We were just at it a few minutes ago. One of Maplewood's own, Bob Wise, a longtime employee of our school district as well as the township, has taken it upon himself to kind of retire. So he will no longer be working full-time in our school system, but he will still be volunteering and working for the township. And I just wanted to send another hearty congratulations on his retirement. Thank you for all the love and support he gave to our students there around the world. There's a little bit of love from Mr. Wise for all the kids that have been there. And I wanted to share the awesome cake that they made him, which is so crazy, but it was beautiful. Look at that. It's insane. The different things that Mr. Wise is going to do with his what free time he has. But I'm still very happy that he still is our neighbor and will still be actively involved in the elections. He's a big supporter and helper with the Heart Center, so I'm grateful for him.
Thank you for that. I was so happy to be there, even momentarily, because I had to attend to another event right before we all gathered for our meeting tonight. And I'm sad I didn't get to taste some of that cake, but it looked too good to even break into, right? So hopefully you all had a little bit of cake after I left. Any questions for Committee Member Cripe from the rest of the TC? Thank you again for your report. We'll move over to Committee Member DeLuca.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to alert the Township Committee to 3 resolutions on the agenda. The first is 188-23, which is a resolution to purchase an electric senior bus, which is ADA compliant. So it will have the ability for folks who have some disabilities to get onto the bus. That bus is going to cost $272,000, and we are getting $90,000 grant from the county for it. So we're going to continue to look for some more money for that. So that takes a while, so we will not see it in 2023. We will be getting it in 2024. There's long lead times with all of these. Next resolution is 194-23, and that is $1.125 million for our 2023 road program, in which we'll be paving various roads. We have been working over the years to get these resolutions to us sooner in the year so that we can start work, because we've had problems of getting contractors, and we always run into the end of the year problem with the weather. So now that we've got this in June, we should see the work start in September, and we should have a better situation come fall. And the last resolution I want to highlight is 206-23, and that is $543,000 for replacement of the roof at the Hilton branch of the library. This is something that we have been trying to do for 3 or 4 years now, and it's really been a problem. We put some money in. We needed money for the town hall roof, so we took money out. We didn't have enough money. We had to put more money in. So we're here, and we're hopefully will approve this contract. And speaking about the library, I just want to give you a couple of quick screenshots here. Here's a picture of the community room being built. This is the floor, and it will actually go out further left, but this is where, as our old community room in the basement, this will be a ground level community room. Doesn't look like much now, but once we get it going, it will be much better. And then also want to share a photo of the basement, which is a bit of a story. Why would you show a basement? So here is the concrete floor. And a couple of things. You see this white plastic that's around, it's on the floor, it's up on the walls. That's the waterproofing. And then this concrete here, if you look right over here where my cursor is, that's actually 10 inches of concrete.
Wow.
Which is quite significant. And the whole idea is the pressure to keep any kind of water, anything below. So we spent a lot of time and energy and money on making sure that there's no water infiltration from the groundwater seeping into the basement. So here it is. This is the slab. This up here is the children's section. And this rest of it probably will be poured tomorrow. And this will all be, then the slab will be done in the basement. The next thing that will be happening is next week. There'll be road closure starting on Tuesday, and we will be getting that information out. It will be for 2 reasons. One, we're starting to work on the steel. So we'll have a big truck there with steel. We'll have a crane. It will lift the steel and set it into place. Additionally, the contractor will be doing some sewer work in the road. And we had some water work done and the sewer work. So we're trying to get all this done as soon as school's out. And then once it's all done, Baker Street there, which is a pretty rough ride right now, will be paved. So next week will be a little difficult there, but just bear with us. People will be routed. We've worked it out with the police. People will be routed around the middle school. And the last thing I just want to mention is giving an update about the fire department. The South Essex Fire Department, as I mentioned earlier, we will be moving all the firefighters to a payroll on the South Essex Fire Department. We've worked everything out with pensions, worked everything out with healthcare with the state, so we're set to go. We do have a resolution on the agenda tonight for our administrative assistant. She will continue to be an employee of Maplewood through the end of the year. And that really has to do with she's a civilian and she has Social Security issues. Not her, but there's a year lead time for Social Security. So we need that to go to the end of the year. And then we have to do a resolution on a revised services agreement, fire department services agreement with South Orange. What we'd like to do is we have interviews scheduled on June 29th. We'd like to take 10 minutes at the beginning of that meeting to put that on the agenda. and get that approved by the Township Committee. We expect that the South Orange Board of Trustees will be approving the agreement on Monday, the 26th, and then we will be approving it on the 29th, and it goes into effect July 1st. So we will work out those logistics with Mr. Weary and Ms. Fritzen and make sure that that happens on the 29th. And that's it.
Fantastic. Thank you for some of the photos of the library. That's amazing, especially the basement. We certainly will not experience fingers crossed flooding in the basement, not with 10 feet of concrete like that. Amazing. And I'm delighted to hear that we will have a contract moving forward for SEFD and on schedule for July 1st start. So that sounds great as well. Are there any questions for committee member DeLuca? Wonderful. Deputy Mayor Engel.
Thanks, Mayor. I'll lead off with the 4th of July festivities, which you alluded to earlier. We are having 2 days of events this year. On Sunday, July 2nd, we're going to have live music, food for purchase, a DJ, and fireworks at sundown. So those festivities start at 6 p.m. on Sunday, July 2nd. And then on Tuesday, July 4th, we are going back to our old roots from when I first moved to Maplewood and doing a low-key, fun, family-friendly day in Maplewood. So we start out with a 5K in the morning, produced by the Columbia High School track and field team. Then we'll roll into the bike parade where families can decorate their bikes and wagons and strollers at home and then come on out for a little stroll. That will lead into kids races in Memorial Park put on by Soma Fox Running Club. And then we may have some more. So you can keep watching us on social media and we will report out in our emails all the fun activities for the day. I also wanted to just mention that the Environmental Advisory Committee has been really focused on resuming a Greenway project, which South Orange is moving on theirs. So this Friday, a Board of Education member, myself, some people from South Orange, our township engineer, and Mr. Wary are going to tour the Greenway just to see what's going on down there. So it's very exciting to bring that project up again. Our recreation department put out an email about swim lessons. Registration is opening soon and the pool is in full swing. It's very exciting to be at the pool again this summer. And then last, since we mentioned Mr. Wise, who was such a great community member, I also wanted to just shout out to Leonelle, who has worked at Tuscan for many, many years, who is also retiring. And I was sad to miss Mr. Wise's retirement party earlier, and I'm sad to miss Leonelle's tomorrow, but he has been such a great part of our Tuscan community. So I wanted to give him a shout out as well. And that is my report.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Good report. I'm glad that we are touring the Greenway, and let's see what we can do there. That's exciting. Are there any questions for Deputy Mayor Engel? Okay, so again, I always say this every time, you're probably tired of hearing it. The beauty of going last is that everything has been covered. I have a couple quick things. Committee member DeLuca did mention the roadway project, getting that out there and started, and you've seen a lot of construction in town, and this is when we try to do most of our construction. Someone used to say that there are 2 seasons. There is winter and there is construction season, and we are in construction season and really proud to have focused, laser focused on infrastructure improvements throughout the town. Speaking of which, I've gotten some emails and voicemails about the status of the stop sign at the intersection of Maplewood Avenue, Jefferson, and Walton and Jefferson. We've talked about this. The neighbors there have organized very well, and we agreed to control that intersection more with stop signs. And I'm just reporting that it seems like, based on our meeting with the contractor yesterday, that work should be done sometime in early July, 1st or 2nd week in July at the latest. So we're excited about that. I want to also spotlight an awesome new opening of another great business on the avenue, all good things on the avenue, as I like to say. Lum's Cellars is your new hot place to go get your favorite wines and beers and spirits. I was delighted to, along with other colleagues on the Township Committee, to be there for the ribbon cutting on Saturday. And the place is an amazing transformation. So those of you who've been in Maplewood for a long time and remember Mrs. Lee's and what it looked like in there, you got to check this out. It's pretty an amazing transformation, and they have great products. And the owner, Jonathan, and his team are fantastic. So please support Lum Cellars on Springfield Avenue. It's next to the 7-Eleven and across the street from the Dollar Tree on Springfield Avenue. And last but not least, Pride continues. We've already had an exhausting string of Pride events. Really want to give a lot of love to North Jersey Pride for putting on a fantastic festival again last weekend. We had a really great turnout. I'm amazed at how they have managed to continue having that festival be community focused. It really is a chill event, even though it's grown, and we had over 130 vendors this time, the largest ever, and have taken over most of the park. It still remains family friendly, community focused, and just genuinely very chill. And I just love it. I enjoyed myself so much, and I'm really happy that CJ and her amazing team of volunteers, all of them are volunteers, put on a great Pride Festival. And I've had the pleasure of attending some other Pride festivals around the state. I get invited to these things as you would imagine, and I've been driving a lot to get to everything that I can get to. And I'm just really proud that we in Maplewood have really set the standard and the bar high. Other places are having flag raisings when they never did. And right now, in particular, in our nation and right here in New Jersey, it is so important, our visibility and our pride. So, and tonight I was able to join another great event that North Jersey Pride put together, Trans Youth Speak. And it was some of our trans students, Spectrum Club members, who gathered at the Bergdorf to talk about their coming out, their experience, what it's like to be trans right here, right now. And we're going to have another conversation tomorrow night. Join us again at the Bergdorf starting at 7. And that conversation is going to focus also on trans visibility right now. And the panelists there are of color or Black, African American. So we're going to really get into what does it mean to be queer and Black, that intersectionality in America right now. So join us for that at 7 o'clock. And that is my report. Any questions for me? Okay. No discussion items. Straight into the consent agenda. So I'm going to ask for a motion for items 14A through 14I. And 14K through 14AG.
Move it.
I'll second it.
Cory?
Yeah.
Mr. DeLuca?
Yes.
Ms. Engel?
Yes.
Mayor Davis?
Yes, thank you. This brings us to our second and final public comment period for any subject matter. Mr. Waltz, turning it over to you again.
Good evening again, Mayor and Township Committee. We will now begin our second public comment portion of the meeting on any subject matter. Any meeting attendee would like to address the Township Committee, please use the raise your hand function. We'll convert you over to panelists and allow you 3 minutes to speak. Mayor, first we have Joan Crystal. We'll convert you over to panelists and allow you 3 minutes to speak.
Ms. Crystal, welcome. I believe you're muted.
Okay, I'd like to talk about an unfortunate situation that occurred this past Thursday, Friday, and Monday. It was after close of business on Thursday that the town sent out an email notifying people that the town would be closed on Friday. It referred to town offices, it referred to the jitney, it did not refer to senior transportation. Friday is probably the most popular day for senior transportation. It's when a number of our seniors who cannot drive go and do their food shopping. Not only were these seniors not notified that their trip has been canceled, there was nobody they could call on Friday to find out why the senior transportation vehicle was not appearing because the offices were closed. I attempted to follow up on Monday to find out what had happened and why this situation had occurred. There was nobody in town hall in the recreation department for me to speak to. All I could do is leave a message with the one person who was taking messages. Michelle was on vacation this week, and therefore she was not available. Her voice message was referring people to recreation. There should have been at least one person in recreation to take the calls that she was referring to them. I'd like to know if the town was aware of the problem and what the town can do to try and prevent the problem from occurring in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Crystal. You did email us accordingly as well. Thank you for that with more details. And we will let Mr. Wary, the township administrator, who's also the HR lead, coordinate better with department heads in circumstances such as this. I will also note, I will add to Ms. Crystal's remarks that I also received some I became aware of people trying to contact us on Friday because, again, the state is not synced up to the federal holiday. They were kind of confused as to why we were closed on Friday, and there were no messages on voicemails left to indicate why we were closed, that we were closed in observance of Juneteenth. So we can do better. We certainly should do better, and we will. And Mr. Wary will coordinate accordingly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Waltz, do we have any other members of the public who wish to comment?
I see no one else, Mayor.
Okay, do you see some members of the public there? I see no one with their hand raised. So seeing none, we will close the public comment portion, the second portion, and I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second,
Ms. Curry,
yes.
Mr. DeLuca,
Yes.
Engel,
Yes.
Mayor Davis.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining us. Have a nice evening. See you again on July